Hello everybody, thank you for joining us again for another 2-Bit Circus Foundation stream. I am Michael and we are back here today doing a... I have something wrong in the title slide, I just noticed, but that's okay. We are back here doing a 2-Bit Circus Foundation Balloon Racers redo. Now, I had done this project already before with Robert and a special guest of ours, Ashley, but I actually made a mistake as the presenter of the project in the way that the 2-Bit Circus Foundation box should have been used. And that was on me. I had thought that everything that we needed for the kit was going to be included. And if you remember, the Balloon Racers kit came with a bunch of different components, right? Came with some balloons, it came with some straws, didn't come with tape, but I threw the tape in there so I didn't forget it. It came with these 2 cones, and these are very important in the discussion of my mistakes that I made. Again, another balloon. I replaced the balloons from last time, so we're not using the same ones. It came with a string that was pretty long. It was a good length for the project, right? So we have that here. It came with wooden dowels and another straw that we had glued here as we were doing our project. It came with some styrofoam pieces of foam. Okay, a lot of different pieces of foam. Some little bells, which are pretty cool, like around holiday time, as we are currently right now. Some, again, just like my other video, I always forget what these little balls are called, but I think they're like pom-poms, or I don't know, we'll call them whatever we want. Little fluffy balls, there we go. And different pieces of straw, and several rubber bands, alright? Now, the whole purpose of this project, the 2-Bit Circus Foundation Racers, is to make little racers that are powered by a balloon. And these racers are supposed to shoot across and race across a string, right? Now, as we did that last time when I had Robert and Ashley with us, and I was a little frustrated trying to figure out what am I doing wrong here with the kit. What I was doing was I was trying to build a tower out of the components that were provided in this kit. In other words, I had been trying to set up these 2 cones and use the string across them. Now, as I did that, I had run into a couple of problems. One, the cones kept falling over like that with any sort of pressure on them. And Ashley and I couldn't hold them down hard enough to save our lives to make it work, right? And then the other thing was the actual elevation of our string. The balloon was touching the bottom, and it left me really sitting there like, scratching my head like, how come this isn't working? These kits are awesome, but I can't get this kit to work. My problem was assuming that these 2 cones were actually meant to be the tower for the race. That's not how we want these kits to be used. These cones were actually in here as another vehicle that could be used for your racer, right? So just like the straws, maybe you wanted to put the cone as the actual vehicle across the string, right? That could be done. So what we actually need to make this project work is some sort of furniture that we don't provide to you that you're going to need to provide for yourself. So if you're a classroom teacher and you're in a classroom, the chairs make a good device that you could attach one end of the string to and attach the other end to the string to a second chair, right? Maybe you do it to a table. If you're at your home, like I am right now, Maybe you attach it. I'm looking at my kitchen cabinets right there. I could tie it around there to the other end and use that as a racer. What I'm going to do today is what I did in the very first. Believe it or not, this is the third time we're showcasing balloon racers. And I'm going to use some furniture that I have here off camera, these benches. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn them upside down. I'll bring it on camera so you can see a little bit here. But you can see it has these bars across, right? So I'm just going to use this part of the bar to tie the string to. As I do that, I am going to show you that I'm bringing another bar stool to the other side. So now, just like I did in the first one, I can attach the string here, and hopefully the project will now work. Okay? So, first thing we need to do is attach the string to one of the bar stools. Alright. Any sort of knot will do on the end here, as long as that knot doesn't come undone. Great. Now I am not going to attach the other end quite yet, because I'm going to need to put my racer on there. Okay? Now I do have the racers from the other project that Robert and Ashley were helping me with. I actually have one of the racers right here. Maybe the other one fell apart. Okay? But this one is already assembled, so we could try to attach the balloon to this and get this racer to move. Nice little one. I actually don't remember if this was Ashley's or Robert's. Maybe somebody could put that in the video for us, and we will know whose this was from the other feed, right? It also sounds like the bell fell out of the nose here, the internals of the bell. Anyways, so what we want to do is we want to put this racer, and our string is coming a little bit undone on the end there, so it might be hard to fit through the straw. But we want that string to go through the straw, right? And then we're going to want that string really, really tight on here. So I'm actually going to wrap it around, pull down a little bit so it makes it taut, right? Try to get that as taut as I can here. Alright. And if it's not taut enough for me, not tight enough, I am going to just separate the bar stools a little bit further. There we go. And now our racer will slide across. So again, the missing piece that I was missing last video with Robert and Ashley was I was trying to use these little tiny cones to do what the benches are doing now, okay? Again, any sort of furniture, anything you could tie it off to will work, okay? Now I just noticed as I'm pushing back and forth on this racer from last time, I hear it rubbing a little bit on something. So I think it's rubbing in between on the eyes. So I'm allowing myself to move the little puff balls, whatever they're called, to the side. So that way that they don't interfere with the string. Okay? Now I think that's working a little bit better. Alright, so we'll give this racer a try. Now I also noticed that last time when I did this, the other frustration we were having besides my silly idea of using the cones as the string holder was we were trying to use hot glue to attach things to. And that was okay if we were attaching the straw to the top there or something small, but it was melting the styrofoam a bit. So if we are going to attach other things like the balloon, I think it may be a better idea to attach it using tape rather than using glue, all right? So we are going to try that idea today. I'm going to just grab a large piece of tape, and now the tape piece should be large enough to wrap around my vehicle, and then it's going to grab the balloon on the bottom from both sides, all right? Let's see if that works. Okay, put some air in the balloon. I am attaching it to both sides with the tape. All right, bring it to one side and let's let go. Let's see if we get it to work on our first time. Still didn't work. It didn't move far. Okay, let's give that another shot with a little bit less air. So I could try to problem solve here and see what is actually occurring. Okay, I think that time it might have worked. Again, there's a little interference on the string. Now, I'll tell you, as a classroom teacher, as I do this, one thing that you can choose whether you want to do or not is actually put the string that you're using to go across on a slight elevation, right? A slight incline. So right now, as long as my table surface is flat, the two benches here should also be flat, so my string has no incline there to help with the movement, right? So that means that the balloon has to overcome any friction that may be involved in between the straw and the string on top. And that's a good discussion to have with your students is why will the balloon not always make the car move, right? There are interactions in there that you have to think about, and one of them is the friction between the straw that's going around the string and the string itself. Let's try this again. Again, same thing, right? So I think that is an issue with the design of the vehicle and the interaction it is having with the string. Now, I don't know if all of you can see. Maybe I can bring this on the overhead camera. That would actually be better. I just realized that you all cannot exactly see everything that's happening. I had it on the other camera, but not on the top one. So now you can see from the top down, right? So you can see here. And I don't know if you can see because of the depth, but when I let go of the car and it's just sitting there, there's actually a couple points where the styrofoam is touching the straw. So all of that interaction is rubbing. So even when I push it, you can feel the friction involved in there, all right? So what I am going to try to do is something just simple really quickly. See if it overcomes it. I'm just going to grab a bunch of loose things that I have here and see if I could put one of them on an incline. Just make it a tad bit. Let's use that piece of foam. Let's see if that little bit of incline will actually help it move. Okay. Large piece of tape to attach the balloon to. Wrap that around there. Just want to see if just that slight change will help it move. Nope, still some friction involved in there. Okay. So now I'm wondering, I could see even when it's sitting on the string here, the car is actually sitting a little bit angled with the nose down. And I'm wondering if that's because it has the weight in the front there. If I push a little bit on the back, it now brings it even, and maybe that will help it by reducing friction. So I'm going to try that. Let's try something else to this design here. Put a little bit of glue on here and put a counterweight. We could call this the tail in the back of the mouse or reindeer. I don't remember what we called this. But now it's level. It is level there. Huh. It is. And let's just make sure here, I want you all to see what I'm doing here, that the center is not interfering at all. It does appear, like just with me pushing it, it does appear to be moving a little bit easier. Okay. Now, one way that you can make this problem solved again is changing the incline so it's on a little downward slope will help your vehicle move. Okay. Let's try this again, but I do like trying to do it on a horizontal surface for the engineering design challenge. Alright, let's see here. Move it back. One side balloon, other side. Alright, let's see if we get motion this time. Still nothing. I'm going to try a little bit more with these. Let's try to change this design. I want to try to see if I can get this design to work. So what I am looking at now is I am looking at the eyeballs. Making sure there's no motion in those eyeballs there. Okay? And again, let's see if we could get that on camera more for you. Alright. Awesome. Trying to get this set up to work here. Trying to change the incline a little bit, but I do not have something stable enough. So let me see if I can hop off camera really quickly, and I want to see if I can grab a book or something smaller, something small but wide enough to fit under there. Give me 1 second, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. I did bring a stack of books here. And I am going to try using the stack of books to change the incline and see if we could get this particular balloon racer to work with that incline. Alright? And thank you for bearing with me with all these camera angle changes. It is difficult to do this project in a small confined space based on my setup and get this in view for everyone. Alright, let's see if I can change this camera. So now you can see what I've done is I've changed the incline there to try to get this particular racer to actually work. Let's give it another shot here. See if I have any luck this time. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Okay. What am I doing here? I'm going to try to blow up the balloon even bigger. Alright, let's see. 3, 2, 1. And the whole balloon fell off. What's going on here? Alright, back to the drawing board. Take this down a little bit for me. Gonna undo the string here. And I am going to work on the balloon racer, the design of how I have the straw on there, and see if there's not a more effective way that I can get this balloon racer to work. Now I do want to point out again, the project is going to work. It does work. Let's move that camera down there a little bit. But there are some things that we have to consider in the design that we may have not considered at the beginning here. One, I personally think those eyeballs may be too close together. So as the string is going through there, it may be rubbing unnecessarily and creating additional friction points. I also see, and I don't know if you all can see this on camera, but the way the straw has been glued on there quickly, it's actually at an angle, and then I can see that the glue melted the styrofoam a bit, so the straw is below, if this makes sense, it is below the level of the styrofoam. And I think what's happening there is it's shifting the angle of attack of the racer, and that's creating additional friction that's not letting it move. Okay? So back to the drawing board. I'm going to grab a different piece of styrofoam. I'm going to try to do a similar design here to see if this works. I'm going to glue the eyes on the side instead of the top of the racer. That's how I want to do it. Let's give it a shot. And let's see if the glue particularly melts this piece of styrofoam. Don't think it melted it as much as it did to the green foam. Alright, so keep that in mind if you're trying to use hot glue on the... This will just be decoration here. Alright, and And I'll try a couple different designs here. I have the straws for them. Alright. I'm also wondering if I should do this. Instead of using this whole piece of straw, I was thinking maybe that I use just a smaller component or smaller piece of the straw. So cut the straw into pieces, smaller pieces, and if you see me looking around, I'm trying to find my scissors where I have them. And I don't know where they are. I lost my scissors again. Let's go find those two. I'm on a scavenger hunt today. On a scavenger hunt as well as an engineering project. I just saw this Swiss Army knife off camera and I know I have a small pair of scissors, so my scavenger hunt doesn't have to take us too off track. Okay, cutting little pieces of straws. Now my idea with cutting smaller pieces of straws is that I'm hoping that I'm changing the amount of surface area between the string and the straw. And by doing that, I'm limiting the amount of forces interacting between the two surfaces. Alright? Now I'm wondering if one of these would be strong enough to hold the weight. So I think one would be strong enough, but I am actually going to try with two for now. So I'm putting one towards the front and one towards the back. Alright. And you also want to make sure that these are relatively in the straight line. Not perfect on my end, but make sure it's in relatively a straight line, because you don't want to add torsion to the car, because then that would change it as well. Alright. I also noticed something different. I wish I had a scale here, but I noticed that the mass of the racer on this side is a little less, again I'm qualitatively saying, a little less than this racer. And we know that Newton's laws, the less massive it is, the more it will accelerate, right? So that balloon force should work better. Alright, let's give this a try. Back on our setup here. Again, gonna adjust some camera angles around for you. Okay, just trying to see how that looks on camera. I know someone's probably shouting at me, you haven't put the racer on yet. And you're right, I haven't. Alright, you can kind of see this on that camera, right? Alright, cool. Feed the string through the racer, the front end and the back end. Oh yeah, I noticed this one, look how far it goes just by me tapping on it. Do you notice that little tap sent it further than the other racer? So I think we've corrected several issues with that racer. And again, that's part of the engineering design challenge, right? That's why we give you so many pieces of styrofoam. That way you can try and experiment different ways to make the car. And no matter how many times you do this, it's still an adventure trying to get it to work the next time. Right? So even me, as an engineer doing this project, there are design challenges that I have to overcome. And that's why each time you do it, it is a new adventure. That little tap made it move a lot further, a lot easier. So I am going to actually try it again. The books are over here. I'm on a level surface. Let's try it on a level surface first. Now I gotta think about how my tape is gonna go. Because I cannot tape it across the straw. maybe that was affecting it too. Last time I put the tape over the straw, so maybe that was putting additional tension on the string. I will come back to that thought in a minute once I get this to work, right? I want to have some evidence for what I'm claiming. Alright, go with the same balloon. And let's see if I get motion like this. 3, 2, 1. Well, I got somewhere, right? I got halfway across the string. Not perfect, but at least we're having motion in there. So that's progress, right? We call that progress. And remember, that's on a horizontal surface, so no incline in my string. All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, interesting. A little bit of progress there. I don't think more than the previous run. And let's try that one more time. I want to try that exact setup one more time. Third time is a charm. Now, what I was also paying attention to, now this doesn't seem like it's a very challenging project, right? When you look at it, you're just putting a little racer across a string attaching a balloon, right? But there are so many little intricacies that you have to consider. We talked about the straws in the string, the incline of the string. We haven't talked about the balloon itself though, and the way the balloon is positioned, right? If I have to almost have it positioned completely horizontal with the racer, if I have it at an incline up or down, that's going to change the direction of the force acting on the racer as well. And I'm going to assume that it is going to change the results, the outcome. Fell out of my mouth there. Alright. So notice how I am trying to get the center of the balloon I'm trying to get the center of the balloon to be parallel to the car itself. Alright. Pop. Alright. I guess I stretched that balloon to its limits. Good thing we have another one here. Now what was happening here is I'm out of tape too. Running out of materials here. I'll have to be careful with this tape or find another way to attach the balloon to the racer. Let's try that again. Three, 2, 1. Didn't work as good as last time. Alright, couple things I think I'm doing. One is the angle of the balloon. One is that it's horizontal. Let's try it on a little bit of an incline and let's see if we get any results like that. Alright. Put this back up here. And again, this incline is just to help you overcome some of the forces that are acting as friction in there. Alright, see now I tapped it and it made it to the end. Now the question is does that tap equate to the force of a balloon? Find out. Right. 3, 2, 1. Alright, I made it further down. And of course you guys couldn't see that. Oh, my luck. Alright, we're done here today. I'm just kidding. Alright, let's show that. And my poor camera skills here. Alright. Now at least you can see it in one, right? But it was over here, and it did make it here. It didn't make it to the finish, but it made it about 3/4 of the way. Or 2/3. Right? 3, 2. Oh, and the balloon might not be attached well here either, huh? That might be a problem too. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. My balloon attachment's not good. You see it's falling off. Alright, let's try this again. That's how I popped the other balloon. I was trying to get a better attachment there. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Some motion. Now, I'm guessing at this point, based on my results of the project, I think the biggest issue for me is the attachment point between the balloon and the racer. I truly believe that that is the biggest issue we're having right now. Alright, so let's see if I can resolve that issue some other way with the materials. Now I am out of tape, so I can't use tape anymore. Let me bring this back down. Get this racer off of here. Now, even though I'm struggling to get this done right now on camera, I don't necessarily look at that as a bad thing. I think that is a positive. Because how many times do you see somebody working with a product and they show you like a quick video and it works like the first time, right? And then you go and you try to do the engineering design process yourself and you sit there frustrated, right? And you're like, oh, darn it. What am I doing wrong, right? It's got to be something with me. They did it the first time. But you got to remember that they're showing the best of the best, right? And so part of your learning experience is trying to figure out and solve the problem. And that's what we're doing here today, right now. So I'm thinking that maybe the rubber bands can be a better attachment for our balloon in the back. Let's see. I'm going to try to see if the way I'm attaching this, I just wrapped the rubber band around the styrofoam twice, and I pinched the balloon in there. So it's now attached to the car, right? I think better than the tape. Let's give it a try. Let's see if this changes any of our results. Well, it would, but I have a hole in the balloon. Let me get some more balloons here for you real quick. Again, another scavenger hunt. Scavenger hunts are always fun. And I am back from the adventure of finding the balloons. Alright. Let's try this again here. Putting the balloon back through the rubber bands. I bet that sounds weird. Alright. Let's give this method of attachment a test. Alright, got it attached. It's hanging. Oh, that's not a good knot. It's coming undone. It's like a slip knot that keeps slipping. Alright, let's give that a try now, right? Alright, still going across. I think the racer's working fine. Alright, but now the balloon's attached here, so I have to try to blow up the balloon while it's attached. Alright, let's give this a try. 3, 2, 1. Another mess up. Alright. And it's like crying at me. It's so bad. The balloon's like, oh, you messed up. So maybe the tape was the best way. Because this rubber band is actually pinching it too much that it doesn't let any air come out of the balloon. It actually is coming out, but not at a quick enough rate to have a high enough force. Alright, let's try something else then. I am going to try a little bit of hot glue. I have it here. Why not? Why not? Why not? Attach this to the car. Now I don't want the glue to burn through the balloon or melt through it, but hopefully that's enough to attach it. Let's see. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Alright, I think it'll work, but it's not staying stuck there. Let's see. Oh, it's burning through there again. Alright, let's see. Ouch. Hot glue is hot. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that hot glue was going to be hot? Alright, let's try this again. Get all those little glues off. Alright. I'm going to give it a minute to dry. Again, every time I use hot glue. Always in a rush. I never wait for it to dry. It's part of my problem, huh? Alright, let's see. Still feels warm in there. Don't think it's quite dry and cooled off yet. And I got hot glue all over me now. Now while we're waiting for that, I did try these races last time, I believe, really quickly, and it didn't work. But you do have other bodies here that you can try to get them to race as well. Alright? So maybe you guys try something like this. Maybe these will work better than my design here with the styrofoam bricks. But let's see. Have everything in consideration, right? I lowered the mass, decreased the mass, decreased the friction. We can see that it slides across the string with no incline perfectly well with just a little bit of force. The question becomes, is the balloon providing enough force, and how can I maximize those interactions, those forces, right? Limit friction, increase output. This balloon's giving me issues here too. A little bit, let's see if it just moves. That time it worked better. With just that little bit of force it moved. Alright. Lots of force. 3, 2, 1. Halfway. Alright, and it's falling off again. See if we could get one more use out of this. Whoop. Alright, let's see. It's kind of coming off again, but let's see. 3, 2, 1. Halfway. Still too much interactions here. Not what I want to see. Try on the incline. I got it halfway now. I thought that was a good try. Let's try it this one. Get a different balloon. This balloon has a hole in it. Has a hole in it. All right. A little bit of glue on here. Now I don't think this is the most efficient way to attach, and maybe that's my problem. I just don't know how to attach the balloon here well. So I think that might be our biggest engineering problem now. Let it dry a little bit. I think we did make a lot of progress here, but it is something we have to continue to work on. So we'll see. This is probably going to pop with the hot glue on there while it's blown up. Let's see. I don't want it to pop. Let that dry for a little bit. Alright. Again, I never wait for hot glue to dry when I'm doing these videos. We're gonna try and crunch. Coming off there. 3. Let's try it. 3, 2, 1. Again, it's the balloon attachment now. I swear that's the problem right now. I swear. Gotta find a way to attach this balloon well here. And again, what's happening is the hot glue is melting that styrofoam in there. And then it gives me a hole in my balloon. Alright, how many balloons am I going to go through? How many? Alright, this one was easier to blow up. Let's see, hopefully it doesn't pop. Pop! Alright. That's the problem with the hot glue when the balloon comes up. Alright. I'm running out of ideas here. What am I doing wrong? Hot glue obviously doesn't match with balloons. Am I just not being patient enough for the glue to dry? Do I need another method of attachment in there? Do I need to pop more balloons? I guess I need to pop more balloons. Alright, everyone. Well, it appears that I am at my limits, not in time, but a little bit impatient here. Can't seem to get this project to work right now. Not working again for the second time. So I am going to see what I could do. I'm going to ask, I don't know, let's see if Kate is willing to take the challenge of doing this project and see if I can figure out what I am doing wrong here. I've done this project before. I've gotten it working on camera, just not working the past 2 times with this kit. So we'll have to figure this out. All right. Well, everyone, thank you for struggling along with me today. Thank you for, I hopefully, laughing at me, getting a good laugh at all my struggle in the pop balloons. And I wonder if you slow it down, if I'm going to be making a funny face when that balloon popped in my face. I don't know. But thank you for joining me today and struggling along with our balloon racers on a string and my struggles in here. We will be back Thursday again with another live stream, and I will be back again next Tuesday with another project, and we'll get these balloon racers to work one day. I know we will. All right, everybody. Until next time, see ya.